Morning guys, out in the garage again, sorting a bit of kit out for the weekend. I've got tunnel on Saturday and gold again on Sunday, so I've got all my F1 slims and my carbon slims out ready to rock and roll. So I've got to tie a few of them up. I've got all my hooks to tie as well because my kit got out a little bit battered the weekend. So yeah, what I'm going to do, obviously I'm still going to post like a longer video each week. Like I'm going to try and do as many live matches as possible, coaching sessions, stuff like that. Like I'm going to do like some nice videos, like longer. But what also I'm going to do, I'm going to start doing a vlog for you. So every single week, like I'll probably on the Wednesday, I'll just do a shorter video, like a 20, hopefully like a 15 to 20 minute video of just like a little recap of what I've done the weekend. Hopefully, like, because like obviously people don't have like that much time on their hands to watch like hour and 15 videos sometimes. So like a 15 to 20 minute video, just little recap might be a little bit more up your street. So yeah, so I'm going to start doing that each week. Let me know what you think, whether I'm wasting my time, if it's just pointless, but hopefully you enjoy it. So yeah, last weekend, on the Saturday, me and Des done our very first group coaching session of the year. That was absolutely brilliant. We went to Red Hill Fishery, and Colin, the owner, was nice enough to let us use Tilly's Lake, which is probably the best lake there at the moment. It's really good. We had 11 people turn up. So yeah, I done my demo first. So everyone got there, got them their chairs, sat behind me, and I took them through all of the setup, how I set my kit up, and how I think people should set their kit up to be as quick and efficient as possible, speed you up. And also, if you set all your kit up properly, there's a very good chance that you're going to damage less kit as well. If you get your top kits in the right position, all nice and secure, you're going to damage and break less kit. So I took them through that. Then I went through all the bait preparation, how to get your micros right, what expanders to use, how to prepare them, maggots as well, which is pretty simple. Just buy some maggots and put them in a tub. Then I done my demo. So I literally started on long pellets, just tapping in some micros and expander on the hook, and I caught 3 or 4 fish really quickly. So that all went that all went really well. I was a little bit nervous because I was sat there with like 11 or 12 with Des all stood behind me, or sat behind me, all shouting and having a laugh and that. I just thought the fish might just like swim off, and I didn't want to start my demo, like start explaining everything. Excuse me. Start explaining everything, then start the demo and not get a bite. So I literally went out and I was saying, please, 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 please go under. And I tapped in some micros, foul looked one. It was like, oh, all right. So, and then I went in again, tapped in some micros, got a little carp. I was like, yeah, thank God for that. And then nothing. So I was like, right, just one last thing before Des starts his demo. I'm going to start putting in some more bait. So I tap, put some more bait in, and I caught like a great big F1, and that was perfect. Like, so they could see what the stamp of fish were in there, and so that all went down really well. Then Des done an absolutely brilliant demo. He done his on waggler fishing, plumbing up a waggler, how to get the depth dead right, feeding on the waggler, and then he done a little demo on maggot feeder fishing as well, which was really good. He uses these little clips where you never seem to get a tangle. I don't know why it works so well, but you just don't seem to get tangles with them. They're absolutely brilliant. So he took us through all of that. He caught a couple of F1s in the demo as well, which was always nice to see, especially on the waggler. Seeing a waggler go under loose feeding maggots is a really nice way of fishing. I don't feel like it's going to be a way of fishing at Red Hill where you're going to compete in the matches, but for elsewhere, silverfish fishing, viaduct, places like that, fishing with a waggler can be quite important. So it's just nice for the guys to see like a pole fishing demo, like what I've done, like tapping in bait and stuff, throwing maggot short, stuff like that. But they also got to see waggler and feeder. So that was really nice. I felt like it was a good demo, and then they had the rest of the day to go off and try and catch some fish on whatever method they wanted to. Not gonna lie, the fishing was quite tough. Obviously 11 or 12 people around the lake all having a laugh, having a bit of banter. It's obviously a lot of noise and stuff, so the fishing wasn't that great. But those days aren't about what you catch. They really aren't about what you catch. If you can just take 4 or 5 things away that's going to improve your fishing, that's what it's all about. We had one absolute gentleman on the on the group coaching session. That brought us all pizzas as well. Brought these 3 massive great big pizzas, so you can imagine Des fishing and eating pizza. He was in his absolute element. So yeah, thanks to Roman for bringing all the food. That was absolutely top class. So yeah, they all caught some fish. We've done some nice catch shots. I filmed the day as well. So that'd be quite a nice little video, just to like, show you exactly what how a group coaching session works and what happens and what you do. So that'd be worth a good little watch as well. Then I come home on the Saturday night, travelled up to Gold on Sunday for the match. I drew 55 on Gold Lake. I just wanted to try and get away from the top end of Syndicate. I just feel like it's not the sort of area where you're ever going to catch a massive weight. And luckily I did. I got onto 55 on Gold, which I was buzzing with. I really thought I was going to get some bites there. Cut a long story short, I didn't really get any bites, to be honest, but I had a bit of a nightmare at the start of the day. I got there in the morning and I actually left my ready rod holder on the drive when I was packing my van in the morning. So I got there, opened the back of my van on peg 55, no rods, so that's a great start. Lucky enough, obviously Will's there, he lent me a rod because he's obviously always very prepared, and he said to me, look, just keep it really simple, maggot feeder to the rope, maggot feeder short and a long pole with maggots. I thought that's perfect. I've got 1 rod, 1 pole rig, that'll do me today. So yeah, started on a maggot feeder to the rope, like fished for like an hour and a half, never had a bite, never had a sign, nothing. Roger Bill was up to my right on peg 57, which is probably the most famous peg at Gold Valley. It's basically what you've got like this great big cafe, and it's all like the steps come out from the cafe and go into the water. It's lovely, and he's literally just chucked his maggot feeder up to the steps and he's caught like 15 great big F1s. He's had an amazing day. Yeah, so started an hour and a half, never had a bite. Eventually it went round, just randomly out of the blue, and I was like, why is that gone round now? So then I carried on fishing on that spot, never had a bite. Dropped it short, never had a bite. And then it got to about an hour to go, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm just going to fish short now. So I kept like chucking it every 10 minutes, like Will said. Eventually got one. Kept chucking it, nothing. And I thought like 15 minutes to go. I thought, well, I'll lob it back out to the rope where I have been fishing. Launched it back out to the rope, literally went down, got one. And then I popped it back out with like 10 minutes to go, and I never had no sign for the last 10 minutes. So I ended up with like 3 F1s for £10. Roger Bill won my lake with 40 odd pound on peg 57 on that maggot feeder just up that bank. But what you got to remember, on Sunday we had a -2 on the Saturday night, and the pressure went to 1035 or 25, which I think, I'm no expert on all this, but I think that's about as like high as you can get. So I just think when in those conditions, the fish just pop up off the bottom, sit up off the bottom, and they're just very, very difficult to catch. Most of the fish, most of the framing weights were on pegs where you can chuck into shallow water. Roger Bill, he's chucked it up the bank into shallow water. Jeb, who won the match, has chucked it up the bank, I think. Excuse me. And then Perry has drawn 119 on Syndicate. He's obviously chucked it out of the bank, and he's caught some carp as well. So most people that caught chucked it in shallow water. Obviously I couldn't get any shallow water on 55, but yeah, not the best of days. Only have 3 bites, 3 F1s, but that's the chance you take when you're going up there this time of year when the weather's really bad like that. Then you've got to sort of expect an odd day like that. So that leaves me with about £60 after 3 matches of the Rushmore League, which is no good at the moment. But with only 150 winning it, I've got 60. Like one real good day, if you get me on middle or you get me on like a real good peg on Syndicate, you can just go vroom, back up the league. So yeah, I'm hoping for 3 better draws in the last 3 rounds of the Rushmore. Hope, fingers crossed anyway. Fished that Rushmore League, stayed at Wheels on the Sunday night. And then obviously I've been lucky enough to qualify for the Fish South Silvers match, which is a 12 grand final in March. So I thought to myself, I've never been to the venue where the actual final is, Southend Farm Fishery. So I thought, you know what, I'll stay at Will's Sunday night, go out for a curry, have a couple of beers, which was really, really nice. Got to see all his family, George, Megan, Jazz. And then we went, and then I travelled from Wheels on the Monday morning straight to Southend Farm. And then what a lovely lake, like drove in, like this big lake, lovely and deep, it's like 8 foot deep. which was really nice to see. I was a little bit like, and what I was going to do as well, I decided to kill two birds with one stone. So I was going to try and film with Matrix on the Monday at Southend Farm and have a little practice. So got there, spoke to Will on the phone. He said jump on peg 10, which is a lovely peg, great big platform. It's like right in the middle of this bank, like a bit of open water, which was really nice. And he said to me basically how to fish it. And what I filmed with Matrix was two different ways of fishing for silvers this time of year. So you've got your ground bait and your casters, and then you've got your pellets, and try and compare the two different stamps of fish and what you catch and what you do. And that all went brilliant. Literally potted in a little ball ground bait short with and started loose feeding casters. Started then, never really had a bite. Went long, tapped in some micros, and literally straight away it was like boom, 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 £2 skimmer, pound skimmer, and I was like, oh yes, thank God for that. I didn't want to drag Adam Firth from who lives in Telford all the way down to Essex, get there and not catch anything, which I was a little bit worried about. But yeah, it all went brilliant. Lovely lake. I fished at Southend Farm. I fished a 0.75 slim carbon, which is absolutely amazing. I love these floats now. It's like I haven't really used them that much so far, but absolutely lovely float. They take 8/8. It's just perfect. Sat down perfect every time. Black bristle. So I just literally dotted it down. It was beautiful. So yeah, I fished for like 3.5 hours. Caught like £25, I was reckon, maybe a little bit more, £27, and that was like with filming as well. So I had to stop, film, explain about the bait, do this, do that. Lot to learn about the place. I've only ever seen it for 3.5 hours. So there's a 2-dayer there in March. So I'm going to fish that, and then I'm going to try and fish a couple of the opens there before with Travel Up with Ben Ag. He's qualified as well. He's drawn 110 at Viaduct on the very first qualifier and won that. So that'd be nice for me to travel up with him because it's a long way. It's called Fish South, but where the venue is, it's like 3 hours for me. So I could get to Doncaster as quick. But yeah, that's just where it is, Southend Farm Fishery. So yeah, that was nice to see it. Going to put a bit of effort in with that one because I feel like it's going to be a brilliant match. It's going to suit me. It's going to suit Ben as well. So I feel like we can do really well. So yeah, that was my weekend. A lot of travelling, quite manic. We went to Red Hill, Gold, and then Southend Farm. So yeah, good weekend. Got a couple of days now to get everything ready, do a bit of filming for you guys, get everything ready for Tunnel and Gold this weekend. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and do this every week, just give you a little recap of what's happened the week before. Let me know what you think. Am I wasting my time? Did you not enjoy it? Hopefully, obviously I'll still do my live long matches and with long videos, but if you do enjoy this, let me know, see what you think.